Hello, everybody, and welcome here to the Heroes Launch Mythic Championship. Thank you, Ahead, for joining us. Sidon is still staying with us here. We are going to go into the lower bracket the next round, as we just saw EPG Frozen winning against Lynx Black 2-0 on the second channel. Meanwhile, we had over here on the main channel Hype going up against Disgusting, and this is going to be a very interesting game. Because on the side, between Hype and EPG Frozen, we saw the grand final of the Mythic Championship last season.
Yeah, definitely. So last season it was EPG Frozen taking the trophies away with a 3-0 sweep actually in the grand final. But this season actually we did see a match between them already in round 1 where Hype went up 2-1 as well. So definitely back and forth between these two teams. So I'm really excited to see how they're gonna play up against each other here.
I think they also played once in the group stage. Let me check. Yes, they did. And there, EPG Frozen won 2-1. It was also quite a close game.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely some history between these two teams. They should know each other very well by now. But it's continuing to see how they are gonna do. Are we gonna see Blank get his butcher once more here, or will EPG Frozen ban it away, or maybe they have something in store, hoping to bait him into it? It's gonna be really exciting to see.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we can take a short look at the teams before we go into something closer because both teams need a short break. They just came off of their series, of the best of 3 series, so they get a short break, and then we're going into the game soon. But when we look at those two teams, we have, of course, on the first side, Hype. You already mentioned it. It's Blank, and he's well known for his Butcher. Are there any other special picks they've brought out in this first best of 3 series?
I don't think they had any other major special picks. I guess they had Deathwing picked out by Mindhawk, which you can talk about it's a little bit special, but I guess he's sorta meta. But we did see a more special ban against them though. We did see Kerrigan getting removed on that Infernal Shrines.
Kerrigan is an interesting one because on the other side we have EPG Frozen, they have Ultralisk, and he just played Kerrigan in map number 2 against Lynx Black. Of course, Ultralisk known for playing a lot of Medivh. We also saw his Medivh banned out in both maps before on the last series. He's also quite known for Sumuro and other stuff like the Maya, for example, also got banned a few times against him in high tier tournaments.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's not the main focus of this team, I would say. As they have a ton of scary players on the side of EPG Frozen, of course. When we look at for example, the support player, X-Ray, he plays together with Dino and Ultralisk together in Feel the Heat, which is probably the one of the top teams, and they just won the last Panda Cup in the grand finals. They're also playing with Wit in here, so this is nearly all of Feel the Heat coming in.
Definitely. So it is some really strong players on this team in general, and I think it's more or less the same roster as last season as well. So they do know each other well. As you were saying, they're also playing together in other tournaments. I like the Panda Cup as well. So it's definitely players that are well versed in and have some great synergies. And looking in on, you talked about Ultralisk, right? You talked about this Kerrigan that are scary for him. He's played that 6 times so far this season. How many wins do you think he has, Simon?
At least 5.
At least 5, because he got a 100% win rate with 6 wins in 6 picks. So that's definitely a scary Kerrigan coming out. So also when we're talking about other scary picks in general, all on EPG Frozen, they like it. They like a certain Overwatch hero called Tracer, a little jumping around, and they got 7 picks on her. And once again, how many wins do you think they have on Tracer?
7.
Exactly, a 7. So EPG Frozen, they just have these really scary, actually high difficulty damage dealers in general, high difficulty champions in general that they're playing around. That's super hard to lock down, but can do so many big plays, and they just pull them out and they win with them so consistently. So it's a really scary team to go into here. But looking at how Hype played in the previous series, I think they are up for the task, and also they have won against them in the past, right? So it's definitely not impossible for them to walk away with a victory here.
I mean, Dino is well known for his Tracer. Especially, he's also known for his Seraphil a little bit. And one thing you can definitely see in the draft is that they usually like to run a lot of Mafur and Tracer between X-Ray and Dino. With, of course, one of normally the tank player, he has a little tendency to go Falling Sword on Johanna if he plays her, but he also plays a lot of Xul and Imperius Aztec on the main tank side, so it is also very interesting pickup we might be seeing there.
Yeah, definitely. We do see Imperius actually being the most picked hero for the side of EPG Frozen, so it's going to be interesting to see. In general, we've seen a lot of focus on Imperius recently. He's really, really strong, especially once he hit that level 7, right? With Flash of Anger being a super strong talent currently. So it's going to be interesting to see how much we're going to have a focus on Imperius here. Like, is one of the teams just going to say, like, okay, we just first pick him, or we're going to ban him, so it's just not a part of the pool?
I think Imperius will be on first pick level or even banned out in most of the games. The same will go with Urel probably. She's also a very strong offlaner still in the current meta. We still played a lot yesterday, but not to the best success, I feel.
Yeah, not really to the basics, but again, like I think these players like here, and not taking away anything from the players yesterday. Some of them are also like really amazing, right? But these players here, like especially when we come into the higher echelons of Division One, right here in the Mythic divisions, we do just see some of these like really top tier players, and that just can make you go wow with how they play. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how they are gonna go through this draft, because I feel like there are so many meta picks that you don't want to see in the enemy team or that you do want, but there's also so many niche picks that you don't want to see on specific players. And I do definitely feel like that these two teams, they have some of these niche picks that just is gonna make it hard to either ban all of that or all of the meta. So they're gonna have to make a choice. Are we gonna ban their favorite heroes, or are we gonna ban the meta heroes?
We are going to see that when the games start. But in the meantime, thank you, Launch 2, for raiding us. We just saw Dendro and Josh casting there. The first game between EPG Frozen and Lynx Black. Josh, one of the caster this season with the most cast, even made full 100 casts this season. Congratulations to that. Was a goal he set himself in the end. So this is pretty amazing, I have to say.
Yeah, 100 cast. Holy moly, that's amazing by him. It's so great to see that so much activity like around these casts from him. It's like amazing how much like support he's doing for the launch, right? So really, really great done
Nice.
by us for sure.
Also, Dendro is like in for longer than I am. I think Dendro is in like since like season 2 or 3. I'm not 100% sure. Dendro is already around for a very, very long time. He's always a caster I enjoy to watch.
Yeah,
So a big
definitely.
thanks to him for jumping in here. But this is not the only thing coming up. As we have today the Mythic Championship closing out this season 12. We also have next week, and we're gonna have a charity stream, exclamation mark, for fun. And you will get to the blog post with all the closer informations on this. It's going to be very interesting in draft mode because you go into the lobby and then you pick a random hero, but then you don't go all random. You choose a role or two or maybe even three, depending on how you take it yourself and how you want to do it yourself. And then you go into the game with this. So it's a little bit random with the heroes you get, but you still have the healer and the tank probably coming up. Then we also have on the week after, we have on the Sunday, let me check. It's the 16th. We will have the ARAM tournament coming up. As the ARAM off-season tournament we have this season is coming to a closure there. And we will see who will crown themselves ARAM League champion 12-13 between the seasons 12 and 13. And yes, 13 is coming up as well. So EU season 13, exclamation mark EU season 13, and you will get towards the sign up guide. Make sure to sign up your team. You can sign up alone as a so-called free agent. You can also sign up as a team with less than 5 people and get filled up with other free agents, and or you just sign up with your team from 5 to 9 people, and then you compete in games and tournaments like today, the Mythic Championship.
Yeah, so there's so much Heroes of the Storm action going on, even though that the season, the official season, I should say, is coming to a close this weekend here. So there's still plenty of stuff to do between the season, and it's so great. Like, it's gonna be like a lot of fun watching the ARAM tournament, especially, and also the for fun tournament. I think the drafts there, like the draft you can call them, right? I think it's gonna be really fun to see like how people are gonna adapt to them getting like a more or less random setup. So I think that's gonna be a lot of fun there, both for players and for people watching it, right?
Yeah, it's the thing I love the most on this is to see which heroes come in the end, because some people you probably will have a healer or a tank in the tank coming in, most likely, if you don't even have like one person saying I only want to heal and the other one is saying I only want to tank. But the thing which is I'm more interested is on the other roles, because on the side of the DPS you have kind of the range DPS, you have the immediate DPS, but you also have the support role with Medivh, Abathur, Vikings, and Zarya coming in. So it's going to be very interesting to see if people will pick this up as well, or will just leave it at the side and are too worried of getting stuff like the Vikings on a map like Brex's Holdout.
Yeah, but saying that with Vikings on Brex's Holdout, right? We do have seen a lot more Vikings played on stuff like D-Shire, so they probably could work on Brexis as well. But I guess it's like if you're not a versed Viking player, you're gonna be very afraid of like getting them on a map like that.
I think with Vikings on a map like Ranger is that you can be really annoying by just having Balog running behind the opponent's forward on the death bridge, center clear the waves, so your opponent doesn't have a wave, you stall a wave. Then you also have Eric all the time on the point contesting this one, and Olaf can just pick up the other experience which come towards the lane which Balog could not clear, or maybe even rotate towards the mid or the bottom lane and be quite a nuisance to slow opponents with his charge.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many options with them, and as you say, like just making sure you kill the enemy minions on the death bridge, just annihilate any chances of any pushes happening in the top lane from the enemy solo laners. So that's really a power move doing, because that's usually one thing you're afraid of with Vikings, right? Is that can't really stop people from pushing, but with that strat, that's definitely possible. But we are actually looking on all the bans are being done now for a map. So we did have Hype, they have banned out Braxis. Then we did have EPG Frozen, they banned out Towers of Doom. Cursed Hollow have been banned. BOE have been banned. And can you guess if I say we're going into a favorite map, where we're going?
Alright, it's going to be nothing else than the typical launch standard, which is nearly played in every game. It's going to be Infernal Shrines, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as I know, both these teams, their first match for today ended on Infernal Shrines. So they are going. Both of them are going straight from Shrines to Shrines again now, facing off in the first map of their match. So this match is a standard for we can see like where the power is between these two teams here compared to it was fairly strong performances from both of them in their matches, right?
Especially when we look at the picks. I'm not sure how it was for Hype, but I just saw a blank butcher and that was okay. GG, good luck next. But on the side of EPG Frozen, we saw two very strong picks coming in. We already talked about one of them a little bit before. It was the Kerrigan. She's very strong on Shrine. You know, you can hit those mini skeletons on the point and you will get some nice shield coming up. But you can also, the other pick we saw very strong there was the Sonya coming in, which she can easily spin to win on the point, especially when she has Wrath of Berserker up, so she deals more damage and those gets more healing in.
Yeah, definitely. So we also did see a Sonya on our side here, but it was not Hype picking her up. It was against them. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how they are gonna go here. So yeah, but I'm gonna be, one thing I'm interested to see is how Blank is gonna play versus this team here, gonna play against the EPG Frozen, because he did pop off in both games. First game he had some incredible entombs. He found like a 3-man entomb like pretty early in the game on Towers of Doom, and then he had some entombs over walls as well. And then in the second game, he was just butcher being like, okay, I'm just gonna charge in, get some meat, go out again, and he had a grand time. I imagine he had a good time on the Discord with the team, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna mix up it here. Like,
One player missing, then we can start the game. Let's see if we get him in. Yes, looks like we have all players in, and we might be able to start the game soon, hopefully.
So one thing I really like about joining these lobbies, if you have all these blinking grandmaster numbers running around, it's really just see how these players are just some of the best players that we have to offer here in Europe, right? So it's gonna be really some high tier play we're gonna see here. I'm super excited. Again, this is a rematch of last season's grand final, so I'm expecting nothing less but an amazing match here.
Especially it's in the lower bracket, so the winner will go up against one of the upper teams, which will be either Pep and Malady or 3K Blue. Pep and Malady, a little bit of expected to be on the same level as EPG Frozen and Hype from my personal side. 3K Blue coming out a little bit of a nothing, and I felt really weird for me that Disgusting did not manage to even win a map against Hype, but we will see. Those two teams will come up here right after this game. And
Yeah,
the loser of them will go up against the winner of the series. So they're both hopefully watching right now. And they're already looking at us being like, oh god, they got Blank. Let's either ban Butcher against him or maybe ban Dino's Tracer.
yeah, definitely. So I think we're gonna see a lot of target bans here, right? There's just some heroes you don't want to see these people on, but then again, as mentioned earlier, that just leaves these meta things open. Like your Rel might be open, Imperius might be open because you want to target Blank, because you want to target Dino. Like there's very few people who want to play against Dino on Tracer. There's few people who want to play against Dino on Zeratul as well, and just still have Ultralisk and his heroes. You don't want to go up against it on this team, so I think it's gonna be. I'm really interested to see how Hype is gonna deal with the ban phase here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because you also don't only are allowed to focus those people, focus those berries with the signature heroes, but you also have to keep in mind that there's still typical meta heroes around. Let's talk about Urel. Let's maybe talk about Imperius a little bit for that. Or when we take a look at the supports, and of course, very strong. Rega got nerfed with his Bloodlust being nerfed down. But also, it's not only this. We also have, for example, from the side of X-Ray, we also could see a Decker coming in. Rainy Day Eric on the side of Hype, kind of known for me for his Sylvanas. So there are a lot of scary picks. You always have to be very cautious.
And with that being said, though, we are heading in, and we will get all the answers we were setting here as we are heading into the first draft in this match on Infernal Shrines.
Number one, loading up, waiting for players. But who will it be? Of course, we have the first pick on the side of EPG Frozen, as we saw Hype choosing the map.
Definitely. So again, are we gonna see this just ban on Butcher, or are they gonna like? I think if they are gonna ban Butcher, they're probably gonna do that in second rotation ban, right? But ECC first ban here, also a stable tank. Most tanks is like, this is just what we pick first, right? Obviously on this map we do see a lot of Johanna as well.
It's going to be very interesting. I mean, I still remember the game from the first round. They played against each other, and Type won Sky Temple because 4-man rotated onto Blank's Butcher, and he just stayed alive for ages. But when we have a look at those signature heroes, we already see Hype removing the Tracer of Dino. Meanwhile, EPG Frozen removing the TC. Very strong tank, also very strong in terms of denying other heroes. So very good ban there. And of course, the meta soul lane, as we talked about, Urel is being removed too.
Something interesting. Is it gonna be Imperius ban, or is it gonna be another target ban here? There is the Medivh. You
Red
also
target
mentioned it earlier, right? And again, when we are at this level of play, Medivh can just be so obnoxious. He can just shut down so many attempts at kills, and you
Yeah.
don't want to miss kills when you finally get the chance up here.
Yeah, and those two bans leave up a very specific hero. You already see her on the right side picked up by Dino now. It's Cassie, which is very strong DPS right now. A lot of damage she's dishing out. And there's not much you can do about it, except her CCing her down and Hype immediately reacting to that early Cassie pick with the Imperials, who can easily CC her down if he hits his Celestial Charge.
Yeah, we have seen Halcyon now 3 maps in a row here. He's gonna play Imperius, so we've seen some really good stuns coming out from him. And as you mentioned, Rainy Day Eric being known for his Sylvanas, and it's just picked up for him. So definitely comfort and a strong pick here coming out. So obviously Sylvanas with her trade, if you manage to get the Punisher right, you can really shut down and get some really strong position. But Anna getting picked up as well here.
She's going paired up with Johanna, of course, as I said, with sometimes plays the falling sword. So this might be something we will see. But yeah, Anna as well with very strong hero nano boost onto Castin. Not the best hero for it, but still a very strong hero, especially if she opts into Q-build. Yeah, I mean, Savannah is not only good when you push with the objective, it's also very strong hero to just pop your trade sometimes and just take half a tower. And those small advantages you take from taking half a tower add up, add up, add up, and sometimes, and at some point, you even get down the board with this. Next events coming out, Hype removing the Soul, not letting EPG Frozen take over the macro as they already have Johanna for the wave clean in the form, and then the Soul as the Soul laner would even be more wave clean, would even put more macro pressure onto the side of Hype.
Yeah, and then we see the response here with a Deathwing, so respecting Minehawk here as he have shown already once today that he is playing the Scary Dragon. But no Butcher this time around. We do see Blank picking up Sonya and Nox picking up Deckard Cain.
Deckard Cain, a very strong hero, being able to CC in those point areas. And Sony, I mentioned it before, able to heal up a lot. But in the meantime, betting is set up, so exclamation mark, bet A in the number of points you want to bet on Hype if you think they have what it takes to get over EPG Frozen, or exclamation mark, bet B if you prefer the draft from EPG Frozen and think they will make it.
So we do see here, to round out EPG Frozen's comp, we do see Blaze being picked up by Ultralisk and Gia on the Mephisto. So, Nano Booster Mephisto can definitely be scary if they land some CC, right? Blaze Shield into Mephisto ult, or even just a Blaze Stun into a Mephisto combo. That's gonna be dangerous. But
Ooh.
we talked about Kerrigan a little bit being an Ultralisk earlier. No, it wasn't. It was Ultralisk earlier. But Minehawk is also known for being one of these Kerrigan players, so he is getting her this time around. So
with the side of Kerrigan Zone now picked up by Hype, we have a very strong combo around the objective. But on the other side, we also have EPG Frozen. They have the Blaze pickup now in the zone, who's also a very strong hero for the soul lane. I mean, his Instrumental Gauntlets were moved from level 7 to level 4 and were buffed a little bit, but and would make him a very, very strong hero in terms of double soaking, wave clear, and other stuff. You could also still opt for the other talent. So they have a very strong macro pressure coming in from the side of EPG Frozen with the Jaina wave clear, with Blaze wave clear, with Cassia wave clear, with Mephisto camp clear. I see with W build is also still very strong against camps and not only against heroes.
yeah, definitely. So it's something interesting to see. I think if EPG Frozen are to go out here, it's because like they can't shut down these Kerrigan and Sonya onto the shrine. But for this map, we do have on the right side in red this time, we do have EPG Frozen with Ultralisk playing the Cassia, with playing Johanna, Gia playing the Mephisto, Dino is gonna play Blaze, and X-Ray is on Anna.
And to the left side, we've got Hype trying to revenge from last season finals. We got Nox on Deckard, Halcyon playing the Imperius, Mindhawk on the Kerrigan, Blank on Zone, and last but not least, it's going to be Rainy Day Eric on the Savannahs.
Yeah, we do see that both teams are just setting up solid defensively here in the middle, not really going into each other. I don't think they got much to fight for here, so I really like that they're just saying, nah, we're just gonna stay each to their own.
Within checking the bush, we see here looking, opting into the W builds, looking for a little bit of value there. There we go. Here going in, getting a little bit of damage in, but gets ported out again, of course. You always do.
So we do see a stun here onto the Johanna. We've got no shield ready here, so he is dead. First blood actually going over to Hype already.
Well done by them there. In the meantime, we can take a short look at the tower. On the side of deck, we see Field Study at level 1, so no Sapphire coming in for the additional engage potential. Rather, the spell power, which increases your healing, especially if you go for Ruby. A very strong talent, because it also increases your healing from your Ruby potions.
So we do see the top lane. Dino is actually gonna get ganked by Halcyon here. Does have enough mana for a stun here? Doesn't look like it. So Dino will walk away here as a Witch now coming up just to secure that nothing more is gonna happen. But they are staying here. Are they looking for a regank here, maybe? Oh, Blank hitting the stun here onto Dino. Dino. Oh, the stun gets interrupted. But
And it's spinning up
Halcyon.
in the meantime within the mid lane. Ultra is dropping quite low. He's getting hit by Carrion combo. Now Deckard Root coming in as well. And the Cassia has been taken down. Mine took a lot of trouble as he dived in and used all his coolants to get the kill on Cassia. But he's able to walk away with the healing of Nox on his Deckard.
So much action already. We do see both teams here. They want, especially on the side of Hype here, they want to try and get some early leads as they did find a kill in mid, but they were also close to finding kill in top end. Looks like they're just opting in for rotational play here now.
In the meantime, we have the siege camp picked up from the EPG Frozen, starting theirs very early in the end. Now we have level 4 coming in, and as I mentioned before, we have Deckard with the Ruby picked up on level 4 now, using the spell power to have more healing coming in.
Yeah, definitely so. We did see Hype here. They opted in to take their top camp instead and instead giving up the siege camp in the bottom side of the map here. Meanwhile, we do see Raining their Eric here up here. He will most likely use his straight to try and push in the top. As we do see pings coming most likely from Dino saying he needs help clearing this.
Goblin now push in, especially as Sylvanas trade has been used there, and there we see it. The wall already took a lot of damage.
So, yeah, that wall taking that much punishment means that this first shrine here, if Hype manages to pick up the Punisher, they're gonna have a really easy time to follow up on the jump. Meanwhile, a bit later, you see Gia jumping a little bit. Blank is there as well. Shrine is active, but no one is on it so far.
Yeah, team's currently still looking to play a little bit more macro as we have the blue team in the bottom, Hype defending the each camp as
up in the top lane, we just see Mindhawk going really low. He has 170 HP here. Can he manage to get out? He lands the stun, but it's not enough. Halcyon follows up as well, but Kerrigan here going down.
Kerrigan falling up here in the top lane, 2-1 in kills so far. So the first kill from the side of EPG Frozen.
Yeah, so this the X-ray, he landed a brilliant sleep there to set up for this kill, and it looked like Kerrigan might actually was going to get away for a while, but not entirely. As they are putting a little bit of pressure here onto Wit, forcing him to use his trade. Blank now going on point and saying, yeah, you're not gonna kill me up here, as Mindhawk enters as well. Jumping onto Ultralisk here, but doesn't really seem like they're finding much. Can they find a stun here? Maybe Root coming down here. Oh, the Root hitting, and that's Cassia being dead. Yes, it is. Meanwhile, though, there's a return kill on Halcyon already. As these teams just going toe to toe right here.
Mindhawk going in, trying to get some damage in his Blank drops low, but he now goes on the point to sustain him, and there's a stun and trying to heal on Kerrigan, and she gets taken down again. 3-3 in kills so far. In this game, Cassia just respawned. Imperials did so as well, but with one man advantage in favor for EPG Frozen.
That is the first, I was about to say model, the first Punisher being picked up here by the side of EPG Frozen. So they will see if they can get some work done up here. Obviously, there's a Mortar Punisher, probably one of the weaker Punishers in the game. You definitely want that Frozen one, but you see Halcyon here just making sure it jumps over the wall so they can get to keep shooting on it as well. So Gate has been down, and next jump we are most likely going to see some sort of follow-up here from EPG Frozen.
They jump onto Sonya, sleep onto the Imperials in the ending as well. A lot of damage coming in there from Gia on the Mephisto, and Imperials goes down in the end. Brutus now looking even deeper. Ford is taking some serious amount of damage, but the Punisher does so as well. Brute coming out from the Deckard hitting too, but it's not enough, and the keep goes down as the Punisher falls as well. The Ford goes down.
So yeah, actually a lot of value from that first Punisher getting the entire fort here. So really nice place by EPG Frozen. It was a nice attempt, I would say, by Hype and Halcyon landing that double stun, but it just couldn't get the lockdown to find the kills. As you see EPG Frozen here, they got 10 and they are invading a camp. So the question is, are they gonna abuse this camp to maybe take down this fountain? Yes, they are. So that's a classic move. Once you get the camp, get some vision onto the fountain, and that makes that the camp will kill. Oh, we do see a nice play here. Noxile landing. Just stay a while and listen as Mythic is jumping in, but a combustion actually used here by Dino.
Sub 10's in now, a lot of damage coming in and damage onto Kerrigan mainly and Imperius as well as the Mephisto ult connects and he goes those 2 kills for the side of EPG Frozen. Blank now on the run. His Ultrask is chasing him there, but no, he will get out. We have a lot of times picked up now from both teams. Hype going for is there one listen. The ref of the Curious Maelstrom Kerrigan, which is quite interesting. Ref of the Berserker from Sonya and Savannah's going with the Wailing Arrow.
Definitely. So, looking at one thing I'm even more interested about is that the Maelstrom is actually this combustion. We do see Rick going incredible. He actually jumps back in again, gets killed, but will they get a return kill on Ultra Sky? Yes, they will. A double hit pop by Wit as he is trying to get up. Wrath of the Angers hits the Anna as she is gonna be popped in here. Oh, gets rooted instantly. That's another kill here from side of Hyper. Seiko 2 for 1. Another stun landing here onto Gia. Did you see Dino coming in here with a big stun as well? So much damage, but it's not enough. Another kill here for Hype. Oh, double stun from Halcyon. Can they pick up all 5 here? Full man team wipe coming in from Hype.
Hype looking pretty damn strong so far as they manage to get those 5 kills and will be able to paint the map blue a little bit now. Blank already working on their opponent's siege camp. With Kerrigan defending bottom a little bit and Sivan is probably looking to get the push going somewhere with the trade. Yes, this somewhere is in the mid lane as yeah, we have the next Punisher coming up. So you usually want to have the fountain around here. So your opponents are not able to just fall back, tap at the fountain and re-engage them.
You see Blank here, he's just gonna go in. He's gonna make sure that that fountain falls. They're gonna say, we got what we came for, and we are gonna back out, reset, and get ready for the next shrine phase. So camps are just getting picked up here by both teams. They're opting into get their Bruiser camps. They will probably have them going during the shrine phase, and hopefully one of them can clear out the other's camp so they can get some push value out of them. As the usual setup has. We do see Wit actually going around scouting the Bruiser camp. He's scaring Hype a little bit away, expecting him to have backup, but Wit just saying, nope, I'm just gonna leave again here.
Oh, stun onto the Janna. They're coming in. She's popping Iron Skin, but so is New Habits from Blaze. They're getting both out, but X-Ray is not looking that great as Blank is jumping onto him. He's staying alive, 100 HP. Dino taking a lot of damage going down, but he gets his combustion out. There is the double kill from EPG Frozen as the counter as for Dino going down as Savannah's Imperials are dropping low. Ultralisk is dropping low as well, so is X-Ray, but X-Ray is not able to stand away from their opponents over the wall and stay alive. Mindtalk now looking for him as he X-Ray is keeping Ultralisk alive, and Ultralisk gets the kill in the end onto Mindtalk, onto Kerrigan. It's 3 for 1 in favor for EPG Frozen.
So, yeah, we did see there was some really close calls in this fight here in general. Like, we did see X-Ray just surviving it up. Very little HP, and also we did see Ultralisk also like coming out with very little HP, so that could have gone sideways from the side of EPG Frozen, but they did manage to pull through, and this time they secured a Frozen Arcane Punisher actually. So they are looking into siege in this middle fort here. Ooh, Root coming out from Gia as he goes on to Blank here, tries to get some damage out, but no real follow-up as Wit is down in the bottom lane just getting the soak, and meanwhile they do have Dino in the top side of the map soaking as well. So they're gonna say we're happy with the fort, and then we just want to soak and get in the lead on the experience side.
Meantime, Wit in the mid lane, pushed a little bit with the Protector, but now he used his Iron Skin. There's the combo from Kerrigan. Imperius ultimate misses, but Wit taking a lot of damage. Just escape from Anna coming in. Wit taking even more damage. Anna healing coming in. Is it enough? No. Is it? No. Yes. Maybe. Wit taking a lot of damage. He goes down in the end. Gia now getting the nano boost, turning around, getting the kill on Savannah's Halcyon. Dropping low, but there's just down onto Ultralisk. Ultralisk taking a lot of damage. But no, he's staying alive for now. But X-Ray is getting engaged now by Mindhawk in the backline. There's the root. Is it enough? No, it's not enough to peel up for X-Ray. X-Ray goes down, and Imperius is able to pick up the kill onto Mephisto as well.
So, yeah, that was again. There were some moments of brilliance here. We did really see X-Ray actually popping off, especially with that smelling salt here, removing stuns from Wit as he was trying to run away, and also using that level 16 advantage that they had in the beginning with the active reload, just saving Wit and keeping him alive for so long that it actually looked like they could turn, but in total, they just couldn't handle the pressure that they didn't have a tank really for the entirety of the fight. So Hype just coming out so massive in that engagement. With being a little bit too deep here, expecting him to be alive for a little bit longer with his trade, but he did not up in to take the trade talent level 1 to get that additional cooldown reduction on it. So he kind of just got popped. We do see some pushing here. They are using the Sylvanas trade to disable this tower. It looks like they might want to back up. Wit coming in here from the backline. We do see that Kerrigan is going very low. And Mythic, will he go down here? Yes, will Halcyon go down as well? Ooh, stay a while and listen. Lands here. Looks like most people will get out. Oh no. Oh no, now Kieran has a wall of hurt.
By the Anna, and there is kill on Deckard. As the team of EPG Frozen is able to follow up on this. Meanwhile, we have Dino cosplaying our Storm Magnesible in the top lane, just pushing down and getting the keep wall. But we now see everyone from the side of Hype coming in. There are the stacks, new habits, and the combustion as well. But it's not enough, and nothing's gonna save him there as he goes down.
Yeah, definitely. So good rotation here from the side of Hype as they manage to find another kill. Wit once again just running around this mid lane, but this time backing out a little bit earlier, not making sure that he is going to get picked again. Invade here from the side of EPG Frozen as they steal away the siege camp from Hype. So we do look in this top side here. Blank just making sure that they get this Bruiser camp, and EPG Frozen opting to do the same. Once again, picking up these camp timings just as a shrine is active, so you can make sure that you have a push going in a lane can be really, really important. Obviously, in this top side, we do see Hype have an advantage because they will, once in a while, they will get catapults coming in as well. But Hype is the team that is first on shrine here as they gain position.
Yeah, we have a little bit more than half a level missing. We didn't engage on the Gia, but he's getting sunk on Spikes Extra coming in now. Blank going in, so is Mindhook Extra taking a lot of damage. He's getting silenced as well. He gets taken down. Ultra is getting hit by Imperial's ultimate. He's taking a lot of damage. He gets taken down as well. That's 2 for nothing in favor for Hype, as EPG Frozen was close to level 20. But with those 2 kills, Hype now got back in experience and are now able to push in even disadvantage.
So we did see Mindhawk actually really played so well here. He saw Gia jump in, and you know exactly when and where he is gonna come back if you know the timings of Mephisto. So he was just predicting it, and he landed that stun combo on him, and the entire team of Hype just converted on him instantly, and it just turned out to be such a big team fight for them. But also like the level 13 of Deckard Kane, the Ancient Blessing just gives him so much more damage in these engagements. It was really great to see. So Frozen Puncher have picked up, so it connects this also. We do see Dino here going in with the combustion. Ooh, Mindhawk going in.
In the meantime, with level 20 picked up by the side of EPG Frozen. You see a big Ruby value coming in there, and the Puncher goes in, but Hype decides to not push in with it and fall back, and instead take up the mid fort, as they still have the Savannah. She does not have a trade up yet. She has it in 20 seconds again. No, Dino is there, looking scary on the Blaze, and puts them away. 20 now for Hype as well. In the meantime, we can take a short look at the talent, as we did not do it so far. We have, of course, the Ruby coming in. We also see Counter Scoop from Deckard on level 7, so reducing the damage of his opponents. You already mentioned it. Ancient Blessings, of course, on level 13, so the strongest talent on that tier. Looking through talents in general, we see a very interesting thing. On the side of Imperials, we see level 4 press forward, so getting 10 armor instead of the 25 armor you usually take from your E talent. We're also not going for a full Q build or a full E build, as he opts into the Mythic Mortals on level 13 with the movement speed and damage reduction on his Q, but then also opting into Melting Touch, so reducing his opponent's armor instead of the attack speed and movement speed for himself.
Yeah, so with this build, I think he just want to go in, land that big Q, and with the Melting Touch, he definitely wants to go in there and make sure that his team just blows up whoever he hits here. Looks like both teams, they are willing to maybe fight over this siege camp, as we do see the position here being taken by the side of EPG Frozen. But yeah, one thing we haven't mentioned actually, Wrath of the Anguirus have had some massive value this game. Like, Halcyon have had hit some really, really big ults so far, so those snipes.
Also, when we take a look at the other talents, we see Ruthless and Sonya on level 13, which is quite an interesting one. So Sonya going for picture build, picking always the same picture when you see it. Because this talent is not used that much, because this additional damage does not heal you, and is not as worthwhile as the movement speed in most games. The other talents give you more mobility, which are very useful for Sonya herself. We also see on the side of Blaze, we see very interesting build. The second wave in the top lane, a push coming in from EPG Frozen, but there's Mythic looking scary, missing the combo though, so nothing happens there.
You see Wit here. He's standing in the shadows once again here. He is gonna go on Halcyon. With Gia also jumping in here, but this time around he is jumping in from a safe space, so no one's gonna be there. So and once again, EPG Frozen here, they are on the offensive. Oh, Dino landing a big stun here onto Mindhawk. Oh, Mindhawk getting completely popped here. Has to use the Chrysalis to get out, but oh, the combo here. Do we see Ultra Race going down? Yeah, we do. And we do see Mindhawk just jumping onto X-Ray 1-for-1 so far, but this Anna is in a world of hurt as Mindhawk. Can he find the kill? Maybe Gia going low as well. Just waiting for a Q reset here for Mindhawk, really. There we go. 4-for-1 so far from side of Hype. Can they go for game here?
Yes, they can. If they just go bottom, they can end the game right now, I would say. As we see those 4 kills, but Deckard is down, so they miss a little bit of sustain, but I don't think that Blaze can do too much into stopping them.
So it's been so back and forth. I felt like in the early stages of the game, we did see EPG Frozen, they had a lot of control, and we'll see even the later stages, they have been the offensive team. But these team fights have just been so massive from the side of Hype, as they are looking to end here. The core shield is down now. Still 11 seconds until anyone else is alive than Dino, so I don't think there's anything he can do. As he's actually dropping a little bit low here as he is tanking. The core pops a shield, is fine. Gets another kill, one for the road here, as GG goes out in chat, and map number 1 going over to Hype.
Very well played by them there. Ooh. Number 1 was already a burner in this best of 3. Keep in mind, this is only a best of 3 series, only the grand final will be a best of 5.
So yeah, the winner of this match will move on until the lower bracket final, where they obviously will have to face the loser of the upper bracket final for a spot in the grand final. So again, it's you have to win or you are gonna be eliminated. So Hype that's probably like some weight lifted off their shoulder, getting this first map, knowing that okay, we won. We are not the team that has to like they can, they can afford a mistake. They're probably not gonna play like it. They're probably gonna play as they always do, right? But I still think it leaves some breathing room for them right now.
Yeah, it definitely leaves some breathing room, but you always have to keep in mind only a little bit, because even if they are allowed to lose a map, losing a map gives your opponent a huge morale boost. They might be able to just even fire up your opponents even more, or maybe EPG Frozen is like, you know what, we want to win this somehow, so we're gonna go with something a little bit more standard. As looking at those picks, I mean, they felt pretty standard for most of them. But seeing Dino on the offlane, I don't feel like he can carry his team on his shoulders as much as he could on the DPS. But also on the other side, you always have to keep in mind, Ultralisk, Gia, and Dino are all 3 usually DPS players. They don't have the biggest hero pool looking at the offlane.
Yeah, I think we did see some big stuns coming out from Dino though, and we also had some really big combustions in general, but it just didn't look like it was enough. But yeah, also like someone in chat mentioned, like Ruby just got immense value here, the level 4 from Deckard Cain, right? Just enabling people when they die. If you throw in that W, reduces the enemy's damage by 30% everyone you hit, and it spawns all these small potions that heals for like 80% of a normal potion, so they're still relatively big. And if you landed a root just before, they're even more powerful because you gain the spell power, right? So there's a lot of healing just waiting to get picked up when you go in there. And that definitely did keep some people alive throughout these fights, getting all that additional healing.
Also keep in mind that spell power is calculated when you pick up the potion. So you can even hit the root afterwards, after the potions have been dropped. It's a very strong thing
True.
coming in. In the meantime, we have EPG Frozen opting into the first pick, so this leaves the map pick for the side of Hype for the second time. And they will bring us towards Mavarash as we go to Volskaya Foundry.
Definitely. So it's gonna be to see how the drafts are gonna go. So far, I think we've seen what's it called, Halcyon and Rainy Day Eric. They have both played the same hero 3 maps in a row. They have Eric has played Sylvanas 3 maps in a row now. He played them the 2 first maps in the first match, and now here, and the same goes for Halcyon and Imperius, right? So, do you think we're maybe gonna see some swaps up and try to get them off their most comfortable heroes? Because we did see some big plays from both of them as well in this game, but oh my, Mindhawk also that Kerrigan, that was super scary.
I mean, as Coffee is mentioning in chat, when those people get their comfort picks, it's a really scary thing. And Hype, exactly what we talked about before. They banned out the comfort picks on the side of EPG Frozen. So EPG Frozen had to opt into a little bit more of a standard draft. Meanwhile, Hype got the Imperials for Halcyon and they got their Sylvanas on Rainy Derrick. So those are two very scary picks you might have to ban out in the next map, but you also are allowed to forget the blank butcher value he could get.
Yeah, and also on this map, Blank also got another pick, right? So we do know there's a certain tank that Blank likes to play as well. So we're gonna see if this might be the map where he pulls that out. I'm not quite 100% sure which maps he is. He is going her on, but this could potentially be one of them. So we are looking at being ready. So very momentarily, we will jump into the second map here, and we're gonna see if Hype can close this out. We are gonna go out in a decider and third map.
Volskaya Foundry. So, when you think about Volskaya Foundry, one of the first things coming into our minds are the islands on this map. So you usually want to have immediately on minute 1, you want to have someone going towards the turret, picking it up, throw it up again, as soon as the middle of the second objective is coming up. As soon as the middle of the first objective is done. But in the meantime, looking at bans, we see the Tracer from sort of Hype again. And EPG Frozen sticking to the plan in map number 1, even though they have to change something up if they want to stay in this tournament, as they ban out ECC and Ural.
Definitely. So yeah, so far we do see Hype also just sticking to their guns. They are banning out this Tracer, really respecting Dino here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this. And there we go, the Medivh once again being banned. So far the draft has been exactly the same.
In the meantime, with betting set up, so exclamation mark bet A if you think Hype will make it out with a quick 2-0, or exclamation mark bet B if you think EPG Frozen with the Imperial's first pick will turn the tides. So yeah, we have Imperial's first pick now coming in. It is the most played hero from, as we saw earlier on this player stats page.
So yeah, we do see this time around we will get Halcyon on something else, as his only hero he played today is picked away. But here we do see Johanna picked up by him this time around, and Nox this time picking up the Anna. So a little bit of swap around. So far it's been a total swap of the teams that we see in map 1. But Dino once again the cashier, and Deckard this time around getting picked up by the side of EPG Frozen.
One thing a lot of people don't know is that X-Ray was at the start a Deckard main. This might be something coming in handy for him.
Definitely.
Yeah, Johanna, very strong heroes against Cassia already, as with Johanna with the sleep door, making sure Cassia is standing still while she's sleeping, and making sure she's losing her armor, same with Johanna plus shield, already coming in with some CC there against her.
Yeah, definitely. So Tassadar getting banned out here. They don't want no force walls up in this, but we do see Deathwing getting banned out once again. So I think that so far the exact same bans that we did see in map 1 coming out from the side of EPG Frozen.
And Tess is a very standard ban, I would say, especially because on this map, because you have those a ton of wave clear he has with his Q, and he also has very good choke. But the thing I wanted to talk about, at least I didn't get to catch up. We got hype picking up Cho'Gall. They pulled it out 2 times in the game against EPG Frozen in the group stage, and they won one, they lost one. But yeah, Volskaya Foundry is a better map for it, so it's very understandable. Now the next 2 picks from EPG Frozen. First one immediately countering the Cho'Gall pick with the Greymane, who probably will pick up Curse Bullet, which removes 35% health from Cho'Gall health bar.
So yeah, here we do see. So what is Blank gonna be on here? So last pick. So I also like that they saved this last pick for Blank in general, but that Cho'Gall, that's gonna be interesting to see. So Blank once again picking up Sonya here. So double soaking potential during the protector phase. Oh my, we have a Cho'Gall game. That I
Sonya
was not expecting that.
Sonya is also a very strong hero against the Soul Laner on the side of EPG Frozen, as we see the Xul being picked up there, of course, with loves his Xul. He loves him some Xul, so he's immediately jumping on that, leaving him Imperius over to Ultralisk. But yeah, Sonya with level 4, she gets the slow and root removal on the Wellbind. This is a very strong talent against Xul. Xul's main sword of CC against Sonya is to root her down and make sure she's not catching up to him and keeping it and staying in his face. But if Blank on Sonya just waits for this root to come out and just spin then Wit is going to have a really rough time in the 1v1 in the bottom lane. Also, Sonya has enough wave clear to keep up with Xul and stopping him from pushing in.
Definitely. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these teams are gonna play this one out. So yeah, obviously the Greymane getting picked up here, so they really need that cursed bullet going onto Cho'Gall. But with that being said, we are now heading into Volskaya Foundry. And on the right side of the map, once again in red, we do have EPG Frozen X-Ray, this time on the Old Man Deckard Cain. With playing Xul, Ultralisk have stolen away the Imperius, Gia on the Greymane, and Dino on Kasha.
And on the left side, we got Hype trying to close out this series in a 2-0. We got Nox on the Anna, Blank on the Sonya, Halcyon on the Johanna, UPH, Eric on the Cho'Gall, as we have Mindtalk picking up the Cho and Eric picking up the Gal.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they are gonna deal with this protection. But this is gonna be a nano boosted Cho'Gall, right? So you can definitely deal some damage. Gonna be interesting to see how they are gonna deal with this early game specifically, but they should have enough wave clear to come by. Cho'Gall offers a lot of that. But you see, Wit helping out, clearing his mid wave, and now he's just heading down bot together with Ultralisk, as they are looking for a gank on Blank. Root coming out here, stun as well, but doesn't look like they have enough damage to take out Blank, just 2 of them.
In the meantime, looking at the talent we see on the side of Cho'Gall, we see the one talent which is fairly new as it got changed recently. Oh, wait with it, stun onto Eric, onto Cho'Gall, but no major follow-up there. We see the Will of Joe, so whenever you kill a minion, you get 1 stack for the Will of Joe, and hero takedowns grant 10, and you gain 1 armor for 30 stacks of the Will of Joe, up to a maximum of 10 armor.
Yeah, this armor obviously do stack with the armor he gets from the trait that when Joe has his trait active. Obviously, if you do not know Cho'Gall, so they both have a trait they can activate to swap between having armor or more damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to balance that out. It is a little bit of a dance, having it up all the time on the best one for all situations.
In the meantime, Healing Camp picked up now by the side of EPG Frozen. As we saw, Hype was a little bit late rotating to the fortification camp, and EPG Frozen immediately capitalized on that by taking the healing item, forcing it there. Make sure the opponents get onto the back foot in terms of items.
We do see a smart pickup here. We do see Burn the Impure getting picked up by Ultralisk. Obviously, he wants that percentage damage dealt onto the Cho'Gall, so they have an easier time burning him down to get with the Curse Bullet later in the game. So meanwhile, do you see actually Halcyon here being on the bottom side of the map, soaking with Johanna, while we have Blank making sure that this top camp is gonna get picked up as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, Mindhawk and Eric taking a lot of punishment, having to tap just before the objective.
Very well done there by EPG Frozen, forcing Trogal to tap that early. And Anna is she's a very good sustained healer, but still, Trogal is a massive foul. But it's like healing up a Diablo. It just takes ages and drains your mana pool. Making him tap early on, make sure that he cannot tap during the first objective. So you will have a really rough time sustaining there in the long term, especially they're going up against the Deckard, who can really sustain his team with those potions of shielding for a very, 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 very long time.
We do see a gank here onto GA in the top side of the map, as Mindhawk and Eric is going in together with Blank, but doesn't find the kill. They do get a clear on this camp, as they most likely will go down and take position onto the point here, while their own camp will be getting cleared.
Here in the top lane, they're in wolf form, staying alive because the wolf is the hunter and not the hunted, as we all know and learned in the kindergarten already.
We do now see that they want to try and contest this protector here. Ultra is just saying, no, this is my point, get off. And it looks like that maybe Hype just want to give up this first protector.
Yeah, I mean, also see again the thing we mentioned before, the fortification camp on the side of EPG Frozen is up again, so they go and pick it up, and the first objective goes over towards EPG Frozen.
Yeah, so per usual, they will most likely head to the top side of the map. Looks like they might just want to contest this mid gate here, actually, since it is fairly low already. So just gaining that additional experience and then head to top side of the map, and they make sure that they get that top fountain, so they're set up for the next protector fight.
Gal trying to 1v1 the protector there, kind of. Takes a lot of damage, and now we see on the top lane the thing you usually want to do with the very first protector, trying to go towards the top lane, setting yourself up for the next objective by taking down your opponent's fountain so they cannot fall back and tap it. In the meantime, Dino is taking a lot of damage, but so is Trogal. He's dropping under 100 HP. Trogal is staying alive as he's able to charge out. Blank now taking a ton of damage too, but he gets out, and see two turrets dropped from the side of EPG Frozen.
Yeah, we see Mindhawk here on the show going very deep in onto trying to shut down Dino here, but nearly costing him, both him and Eric's life, as they are one unit. But everyone got out alive, they got the protector clean, but right now, EPG Frozen looks like they just want to slowly transiting and siege down this. Oh, Seafarer knocks onto Gia, but no follow-up. Okay, looks like they're just gonna take this fort here and saying, this is ours, as Hype just backing away and saying, yeah, we can't really stop them. At the moment, they got 10, we don't.
Oh, German internet's kicking in again. Ultra is having a disconnect right now. Yeah, level 10 is now in for both teams, and on the side of Anna, we of course see the nano boost for Trogal. Very interesting though, we see Cho with the hammer of Twilight, so knocking away opponents and having more auto attack damage, but Gal picking up the twisting never, so when opponents are around him, dealing damage to opponents around him. So no pull into big explosion combo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we usually see, but this is a very melee heavy team that they are up against, right? So I can definitely see why they're opting into maybe go for this time out Twilight instead. They don't need to pull people in; they are already gonna be close melee range with them. And so instead they're opting in to say, okay, so if it gets too much, we can just knock them away. It also gives like this mini stun, 0.75 seconds. So, and I guess level 20, they can pick up the ranged AIs on it if they really want to.
The ranged AIs could. I'm always not sure about this because usually as Trogal you could jump on anyways. But with the ranged AIs, you have a way easier time stutter stepping and making sure you're always in range to auto attack your opponent as well to deal your maximum amount of damage possible.
Definitely. So we do see that Emerald has also been picked up at Deckard here, which I think is a really good tech here. So 75% reduced healing for 4 seconds. So both the teams having the heal denial available here. So saying that You might have gotten Anna and the heal denial, but we'll take the old man who can nearly do the same. So, but meanwhile, Gia, getting knocked back here behind Mindhawk as they are moving out. Here comes the twisting nether explosion. That's one as well. Oh, getting knocked up in the air. Wrath of Anguirus here going on to Mindhawk here, but no kill here. But the nano boost actually got popped after they got the first kill, so hoping they could turn and also kill Ultralisk. Meanwhile, look at the top lane.
Ultra's with pushing in now with the skeletons he spawns when he kills the minion. But I mean, Tia is respawning already, so there is not too big of a threat, and also we see still a slight advantage in experience for the side of EPG Frozen, as they pick up level 30 now, and we see on the side of Wit, we see amplified damage on the Xul, so reducing the armor and increasing the root by a little bit, which makes it very easy for them to just blow up one target after the root. And this is very strong, especially for Imperius, as he's now looking at the Jogal up here in top, and he's taking a lot of damage because Bullet coming out as well. Jogal going down. That's a double kill, make it a triple as Anna falls as well. And now we even see into blasting pop there from Decker and instantly making the turn onto the fort in the mid lane, taking this down, getting instant structure damage in. Now we even see them rotating towards the bottom, except for Imperius goes towards the top lane and make sure they will get the objective.
So, yeah, but one thing that's about Cho'Gall, obviously, when you do that, Jack going on to blank, a lot of damage coming out here. So using that level 13 here, the Mystical Spear, to just get out safely. But as I was mentioning, the thing about Cho'Gall, obviously, you are 2 players in one body, so if you do get killed, you're in double the trouble. So, that's definitely a big ouch, and that cursed bullet is definitely gonna be a big yikes whenever they get hit. And now it's a 25% armor reduction from that bone prison from Zul as well. They can bullet into that together with a lot of damage after, and that's gonna be hard. Obviously, the bullet does not get amplified by the armor reduction, but all the rest of the damage is gonna be.
In the meantime, we see Cho'Gall picking up Twilight Nova on level 13, so reducing the cooldown of Dread Orb by 1 second. And after the first bounce of Dread Orb having 2 more bombs bounce to the sideway, Cho'Gall up here taking a lot of damage, getting the nano boost. So he should be fine for now as he tapped the fountain.
Yeah, and we did see Dino here. He used the Valkyrie and actually managed to land a nice hook here onto Eric and. Mindhawk, Ultralisk tried to go for the Wrath of Anguirus to get them once again, but didn't connect this time around. So looks like this protector they wanted to go for keep, but they couldn't really find it. Meanwhile, in the bottom, the Wit is just saying, no, I'm just gonna shove in right here. I'm gonna get some more pressure. Again, building-wise, this is looking really, really strong from the side of EPG Frozen.
Now we see the Protector going down. In the meantime, we have Wit in the bottom, clearing out the waves and pushing in the forward with those minions spawning. And this also gives them advantage for the next Protector. But it is still a Cho'Gall we are seeing here from Hype. And Cho'Gall's big power spike will be level 16. He's about to hit that one. This is going to be really scary for Frozen. So they have to get a big snowball going on now. Or Cho'Gall will be unstoppable.
So yeah, definitely. So camps here getting picked up by the side of EPG Frozen as they are trying to paint the map red, not only by taking all the camps, but they also want to paint the map red potentially with the blood of blank here as they are going for a gang up in. So can they land any of the CC blank here? Once again, use the musical speed, but also is landing the stun here into the Valkyrie here. The Root coming out. He's taking off the Breath of Gears actually. Landing him Cho'Gall as blank goes down as well. Cho'Gall once again. Just see him pop here with the curse bullet. Can he manage to get out? Oh, the instant stun removal here from Nox. Maybe be enough 10 HP. No, he will go down. So that's a 4-man kill here. And this might actually be map number 2 being over.
Yeah, the fort has been taken. Now looking at the core. Only Johanna alive. 15 seconds for Sonya. 25 for Cho'Gall and 25 for Anna. And talking about Johanna, she's been taken down. 40 seconds until her respawn. Everyone from the side of EPG Frozen is alive and they're hammering down the core. Sonya just respawning, but it's not enough as the core drops to 10% and is going down. It's GG. as game number 2 goes over towards EPG Frozen.
So yeah, so we talked about that power spike coming in from Cho'Gath at 16. They didn't manage to hit 16. They got forced into a fight just before that, and again, they had like this massive problem. Like EPG Frozen, they could just force fights. They had these also where if you get hit by them, like if you get hit by the Valkyrie, if you get hit by the Wrath of Angeris, you don't have a choice anymore. You are gonna be in there. You are gonna be standing in a fight. So obviously, hitting that. I think they hit the Valkyrie onto Blank Ride, and then they hit the Wrath of Angeris onto Cho'Gath straight into the Curse Bullet, and he just blew up completely. He actually survived a lot longer than expected, but oh boy.
Yeah, one thing you always have to keep in mind against the Cho'Gath combo, if the side of EPG Frozen would have used all of the cooldowns onto, let's say, the Johanna or the Sonya, for example, then Cho'Gath has a lot of free space suddenly, where no one is really able to contest it because there will be no Curse Bullet or something else. Then he has really a lot of free time and free space he can use to his advantage, deal damage to his opponents.
Yeah, but we do actually already see a map pick. So instead of the first pick, we see a lot of people opting in for. We do actually see Hype here taking map pick, and they're gonna take us to the Tomb of Spider Queen.
I mean, it's Tomb. People which know me know that I hate Tomb, so thank you for that, of course.
I love Tomb. It's one of my favorite maps all time, so I do not mind going here at all. And it's gonna be an interesting one. So up to these two teams have showed that they are definitely here to, and they definitely are here to stay, and they want to win. So again, the winner of this map here, it's the third map, it's the decider map, will move on to the lower bracket final. So it's and the loser, unfortunately for them, will be eliminated from this tournament, and they will no longer be able to win those high quality plastic trophies. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how these two maps are gonna go into this map. And as you talked about earlier, getting that first win can be really good because it gives you that free mental space. But now that you don't have that anymore, and there's momentum on the other side here now for EPG Frozen, this could go in and be a tough match from the side of Hype.
I mean, when we take a short look at the last draft, there's always a big question how you should draft the Cho'Gath. And in this case, he was kind of like the main, just he was DPS because they picked up the Johanna to provide some additional CC and crowd control for your opponents to make sure they are not able to pressure too much. And also the Sonya to make sure they can counter pressure Dexel. But I always feel like a hero like fit in the ways of Cho'Gath together with him. But we are jumping now straight into game number 2 of this game number 3 of this best of 3 series. The last and final map. Will it be a reverse sweep from the side of EPG Frozen, as they will have the first pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen, because we saw Hype choosing the map.
So yeah, once again, they ban out DTC here, so sticking to the same bans as we've seen throughout this entire series. Once again, Tracer. So I don't think we're gonna see much different coming out here. So yeah, that you're right, and we're probably gonna see Medivh getting banned out here as well, right?
I mean, if we stick to those, one thing EPG Frozen definitely has to keep in mind is we just saw Hype playing a Cho'Gath, and Tomb of Spider Queen is not a too bad map for the sides of Cho'Gath himself as well. And if you think Hype will win this map, exclamation mark, bet A and the number of points you want to bet on them. Or if you think EPG Frozen has what it takes to bring us a reverse sweep in this lower bracket game, exclamation mark, bet B and the number of points you want to bet on them.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, we do see these Imperius just getting sniped away by the side of EPG Frozen. That's Ultralisk once again locks him in, and Anna once more picked up here by Nox, and what are they gonna follow her up with? So far this draft is going the exact same way as we did see on Volskaya. So are we gonna see Johanna once more here, or are they gonna change it up a little bit this time? Oh, we do actually see the cash at this time going over to Hype.
I mean, Anna Cass is a very strong pickup here now, and we see immediately on the other side EPG Frozen picking up Tixel. A lot of people also call it Tomb of the Wave Clear because it's very strong to have a lot of wave clear on this map to make sure the opponent's objective is close to useless.
So yeah, Malfurion here getting picked up. So with the wave clear though, it can also be dangerous to step up with Zul to make that wave clear, and a lot of it comes from his melee attacks. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much double soak he can get in, and how much, if he tries to, how much hype can potentially punish him for it, right? But knowing these players, I'm not gonna doubt that they know what to do and when to do it, right? So that's probably not gonna be a problem here for Wit. Greymane this time banned out. Are we gonna see another Cho'Gall?
I mean, I feel like it's very likely, especially this time they've picked up the Cassia with it, which I feel is a very strong hero because she provides some additional wave clear to make sure you have enough wave clear. She can also do camps quite fast together with her and with Anna, and then Cho'Gall can keep on rotating. This is a very likely pickup of Cho'Gall, I would say. But as we saw it in the last game, they picked Cho'Gall as more or less the only DPS in the game. And we now see EPG Frozen removing the Johanna, and nope, there won't be any Cho'Gallas from the side of Hype this time, as we see Halcyon picking up the turret this time, and Mindtalk falling back towards his pick on the winning map for them on Furnace Shrines. It's going to be Scarrigan again.
And this is actually really, really good too. Obviously, a really old combo in this game is the Kerrigan material. So Kerrigan jumping in and getting a sanctification on top of her. So she's gonna be even harder to kill. So this is gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna play this out, and it's interesting to see now here how are we gonna see EPG Frozen respond to this now. So taking the Sylvanas Zone and taking a Maiev here.
I love it. We saw next to EPG Frozen Sylvanas on the one side is a very strong pick to help out even more with the wave because they can really easily one-shot waves, even without Xul being near, and Maiev also. One thing I love on Maiev is she's such a strong 1v5 hero in terms of you can have a big combo with Tether into the cage and then get a lot of damage in if you get those resets. But also she's a very strong macro hero when you think about it. If she gets Fnatic momentum, that's an easy bruiser camp. But talking about easy bruiser camp, what do we see from Blank here?
Oh, that's the Butcher. So let's see if they can do something here. So they have a really offensive comp, but they do also need some time to ramp up here on the side of Hype of the Kerrigan. She wants her stack on her level 4 talents, and Butcher also need a lot of meat. But on this map here, it's gonna be interesting to see if they can, what they can do here. So there is a fairly squishy team on the side of EPG Frozen. So I think if Hype can get the lead here and or get this Butcher stacked, they might actually just run away with this. But if EPG Frozen can avoid that from happening and maybe take a strong position from the big early stages of the map, then I think it can be hard for Hype to get really into this, and it might actually just snowball out of control. So I think a lot of it is how EPG Frozen, like how can they control this early to mid game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they will react onto the Maiev engages, because on the one side, the Maiev with a big cage can win a team fight, but if there's a sanctification in the middle of it, that's practically a lost team fight for them. But we will see, as we have to the left side, we got Hype trying to close out to 1 after losing map number 2. We have Nox slaying Dana, Mindtalk on his Kerrigan, Halcyon on the Tyrael, Rainy Day Eric on the Cassia, and Blank playing the Blank special. It's no one else than the Butcher himself.
And on the right side in red, we do still have EPG Frozen. Now coming back after the previous map, we have Gia this time playing the Malfurion. Dino plays Sylvanas with playing Zul, X-Raid this time on the Imperius, and Maiev is gonna be played by none other than Ultralisk.
In the meantime, we have in the chat Coffee mentioning he would love to see a containment. He's gonna kind of agree to that because with the cage into Tyrael, you don't get a lot of value. So if you just set up your kills with this, but in the meantime, we have first engage from Ultralisk going in, getting a Tether onto 2, Pierce with the Schlong onto 2, another spear onto Rainy the Eric, and he goes down. He's the first kill, but X-Ray taking a lot of damage. But so does Minduk as he tries and reach for the kill, but he gets taken down 2 for nothing so far. as EPG Frozen is starting hot into this first game of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, we just see also he found this double tether, just Gia instant follow up with the root on them, and yeah, X-Ray also hitting that stun over the wall was so huge. So far really amazing playstyle from the side of EPG Frozen. As X-Ray goes for another attempt here to stun, but don't really find it. So coming to see how they're gonna play out. Ospreys might be looking down to see if he can get something onto Blank here. X-Ray is also down here as they are going in, but Blank just smelling it and saying, nah, I'm not gonna go out in this lane.
And this is a thing you always have to be very careful on the side of Butcher. You can lose. If you die, you lose those meat stacks, and in the meantime getting a jumped on, but he got his wave, and he's able to escape with his haunting wave. This is one thing you always have to be very, very, very careful as Butcher, because as soon as you get killed on those, talking about getting killed, we see an engage onto X-Ray there on the Imperius, and he gets taken down. And that's 20 meat for Butcher.
So yeah, it seems like that someone on the side of Hype spotted X-Ray going into that bush. This knew that there's a Mindhawk. Just, oh, can they get Ultralisk here? No. Oh, Kerrigan here, Mindhawk just jumping away from the tower range just before the root connects. Super important for him here, but they smelled X-Ray being in that bush and just Kerrigan combo straight on top of him and just ran him right down.
Interesting thing we did not really talk about. Wait, we'll engage onto Nox as Ultralisk is there with the Tower. X-Ray missed his spear before charge. Ultralisk is there with his wall of the Warrens to his disengage.
You see Halcyon here, he's going a little bit more on Ultralisk as well, but playing the Imperius, he doesn't really have the lockdown to try and go for it. We do have an attempt here onto Dino, but X-Ray going up, landing the stun here on Mindhawk. Oh, the root follow-up as well as looks like Mindhawk will go down here. Another kill going over to EPG Frozen. There's 3 kills on the map already for them. Oh, stun more here on to Halcyon and 2 kills in the bank more for them. Explosive map so far, especially from the side of EPG Frozen.
We already see one thing which is very necessary on the side of Tombs, on the map on Tombs Spider Queen. We see a lot of rotations coming out from the side of EPG Frozen, so they're rotating a lot towards the bottom, try to get the kill onto the Butcher, rotating into mid lane, take camps, pushing here, pushing there, get value with this amount of space in the mid. We see the wall going down with this booster camp pushing in. We can see some damage onto the fort.
Yeah, so obviously this up that if there is gonna come some spiders out at some point here from the side of EPG Frozen, they will have even less to push. This fort actually going really low here, so they looks like they might get a turn in here, and this fort is definitely gonna go down, right? There's no saving this middle fort anymore from the side of Hype. They will have to put their focus elsewhere. So far, really strong start from EPG Frozen.
I mean, the fort is down to 700 HP, so you can even easily finish it off with Maiev, maybe even.
Yeah, just jumping in there.
For the mid lane, looking at Eric and Nox there. There's a jump, but no one is there to be punished by him.
So it looks like they are actually standing in this mid lane, just saying we want to defend this as long as possible. So meanwhile, Wit actually taking down the entire gate in bot lane as well, and now have this spider moving on to the fort. But meanwhile, in mid, oh, an engage is happening though.
Butcher is getting cleansed there as Blank is charging in extra. A lot of trouble as he's caught in the middle of 5 opponents, and he gets taken down. It's never a kill for Butcher, and he's already up to 100 meat. But in the meantime, we had Dino pushing in the top lane and Wit in the bottom lane. So this is double fort for the side of EPG Frozen as they took down the mid lane with the Wit took down the bottom lane and top lane. The wall is down, and also is the fountains. All the 1 fountains are gone. All here one front walls as well. Only top fort is still standing for Hype.
So a level advantage here already for EPG Frozen, as they are looking like they want to close this out too fast. They do not want to get in a position where Blank just ends up having too much meat to handle, which can happen on this. Like, we do see that Blank is stacking up nicely, sitting on 120 stacks. He's like getting there slowly. It's not him getting killed at least. So sitting at 0 deaths still. So he's just gonna I guess he's just gonna take this safe. He's gonna say, okay, we're gonna get a beating here in the early stages, but we scale, boys. No worries. We got this late game.
We have the red team Frozen closing in towards level 10, so on the side of Hype, they don't really want to turn in, but they also don't want to give their opponents too much space to get those last few gems in. In the meantime, Halcyon getting pulled in, rooted as well. Imperial Stun hits Halcyon, taking a lot from down to disc, coming out from Ultra Disc. And Halcyon, there's another stun, and goodbye to level 10 is here for EPG Frozen, as we saw the containment disc coming out. Angelic ornaments from Imperius. Xul picking up the skeletal mages this time. No poison, no shenanigans, not farting onto anyone. Sylvanas with the wailing arrow, and Malfurion has some quality.
And we just see them here instantly as they get that kill. They know they have 10. They are a man up. They're just gonna go up on this boss and say, we just want all the advantage we can get. They are not giving anything to Hype here. Hype just gave them a little smidgen of a finger, and EPG Frozen's taking the entire arm at the moment.
In the meantime, we saw the blue team turning in, of course, making sure at least have something to deal a little bit with the boss of their opponents, but the boss spawns in time, and for the objective you have to get those gems in. So those need some soaking and other stuff. So if the EPG Frozen is very playing this well, they will deny a lot of gems towards the side of Hype and will make it very hard for them to get another turn in.
Oh, Chacha and Ultralisk, but again, he can just touch it. Dino also just standing super offensive there, but no, he can get up. Stun here from X-Ray. Oh my god, the fight. Here the Sank coming in too late, really. That's a kill already on Kerrigan. That's 2 kills going down as well. Rainer there, Eric here getting run down as well. He is gonna die for sure here. So he's just running down way saying, hey, yo, waste some time chasing me so you don't get to gotten clear as fast. But yeah, I think in general with this boss in the top, like EPG Frozen, they were happy with getting that boss and then having the turn in, because they traded a neutral objectives for like the main objective of the map, which is really, really great for them. Like, so Hype essentially wasted their turn in to having to get the free roam to deal with the boss. And then that fight happened. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, also the big the thing in this case was that EPG Frozen managed to push out the lane far for the side of Hype, so they had not really any value out of those video waves because they spawned very far backwards, so they had to walk a lot and took a lot of damage by walking.
But yeah, we see back-to-back turn-in. Oh, not back-to-back, I guess that was just a turn. But another turn-in here for the red team, EPG Frozen. Here, they are looking to get forward. They have 13 advantage here. X-Ray finding the stun here on Halcyon. Can he get out? Yeah, he will get out here because of the Endurance Might.
In the meantime, we have the bottom everyone spawning as the furthest forward. Devils won't get too much value as they have to walk here. Valkyrie coming in with taking a lot of damage to the cleanse, but it's not enough as there's the lamp. Sanctification used as well. Goodbye Wit as he goes down. That's Sylvanas coming in now with Silence Arrow. Gets it onto 4 and able to haunt her wave out again. But Mythic taking a lot of damage on the Kerrigan and he goes down. Now Tyrell being in the disc. Just a stun from X-Ray. And another Terror from Ultra is coming in there. Any day Eric Knight, a very bad spot. Stun from X-Ray again. And the root. It's not enough. And it's enough. And X-Ray. Sorry. Bessia and Blank on the Butcher are going down this 3-4-1 in favor for EPG Frozen. It also means we see Butcher losing a little bit of meat there. He's up to 178 stacks already. He's getting closer towards those 200 mark where he will get extremely strong. But he's not quite there yet.
But we do have a 3-level lead here, and we do see 1 keep falling, 2 keep falling. Is this gonna be 3 keeps falling? No, look like EPG Frozen just wanna back out here. Mindhawk wants to go into, but there is the containment disc once again. Wit, meanwhile, just saying, I'm gonna steal your camp. Don't mind. So 16 here secured. So an entire talent tier up right now for EPG Frozen as they are looking at another turn-in here, back-to-back turn-ins. This could be devastating if they get this turn-in here, right? But so far in this map specifically, X-Ray and Ultralisk, they have been smurfing all over Hype.
Yeah, one in the chat pointed out already. Imperial is having a lot of free space because of this tutorial pickup from a lot of Hype. Having no real hard CC to counter him whenever he tries to go in. Have you ever played ETC against an Imperius? Then you know how fun it is to just push him around whenever he tries to Q something. And also power slide him and punish him for whatever he tries to do.
See here that looks like EPG Frozen. They're just gonna take the safe this time. We're gonna secure your mid keep here. Then we get so much pressure onto your core. So it has to be like a wonder defensive from the side of Hype if they have want any chance of staying in this game and having a chance of getting to the finals. Ooh, containment this kid landing onto Eric on the Kasia here. Can I get a follow-up? X-Ray here landing, but the stun from Mindhawk, will it be enough? The Sand comes down as well as X-Ray actually goes down instantly. Dino going in, getting low as well. Blank now going low as well. Have the Gia going low. Mindhawk, can they do this? Defend Halcyon. Hawk getting hit by the Haunting Wave, and he's going off 130 HP. He dies. Mindhawk goes down as well. That's 4 man dead for one so far as EPG Frozen takes this game and ends the series 2-1.
Very well done by EPG Frozen. They're looking shaky in game number 1 of this best of 3 series. But they came back and showed us how strong they really are and that they are the defender in this cup, in this championship. And Hype was their opponent in the finals, but they got defeated and they defeated them again.
Definitely. So definitely that looks like EPG Frozen here is the bane of Hype's existence. They definitely were in this case. So Hype unfortunately being eliminated from the tournament here, and EPG Frozen now moving on to the lower bracket final where they will be waiting for the next match to be over, where they will meet the loser from the upper bracket final that will be played between Pepper Milady and 3K Blue.
Yeah, looking at those two teams as we have them coming up next for this cast here. See both coming in being first in their group. Pepper Milady winning against EPG Frozen and Hype in their group, so they are looking pretty damn scary. They are really one we have to watch out as they are coming into this final. And they're kind of my personal favorite, but I think we are not allowed to disrespect 3K Blue. They're coming from Group B.